I'm getting ready to clean out my stovepipe. It's sooted up, and I've never cleaned it. I've burned, I don't know, probably wood in my stove maybe, I don't know, 10 times or so. And then I've been burning, I burned some kerosene in it, I burned some diesel in it, and I burned some Crisco oil in it. And so when I was burning diesel, I had a couple mishaps, and the fire in the stove kind of got out of control a little bit. I mean, it wasn't like out of control, but it was just raging inside the stove. It was safe, pretty safe. I wasn't worried about any problems with fire, anything catching on fire, but except for a little diesel leaking out of some welds that weren't watertight. And so when I had these mishaps with the diesel fuel in the stove, the fire was so hot and so much fuel burning that the air going through the system, there wasn't enough air going through. Even though I had it wide open, I even opened up the door, but then I had flames coming out of the door when I opened it. So the air fuel mixture was rich, and because of that, it smoked really bad. And I had to let it keep burning because fuel was in the bottom of the stove, and it was kind of leaking out through the welds that were not completely sealed. So I had to let it keep burning to burn that diesel up, because otherwise it'd just keep leaking out, and it would take hours for it to all run out because it was such a small leak. But it would have got all over the interior of my boat. So anyway, because of that, I think mainly is why I have the stovepipe is so sooted up. When I was trying to burn last couple of nights in here, smoke was coming out through the door, and so that was indicating that the stovepipe was sooted up and clogged up somewhat. And so at any rate, now I'm going to go ahead and sweep it. I'm going to build my own little sweep. I got a piece of PVC tubing, and I'm going to put something on the end. I'm not sure what yet. And it only has to be about 3 inches in diameter to go down into this. So I'm going to take the top here off, the smokestack's coming off here, and I'm going to look down in there and see what I got. And so it's falling out, making a mess. Now I'm really dreading this because diesel soot is not just soot, it's oily soot. And yeah, it's pretty bad. So I'll see if I can get a view of it here. And I don't know if you can see down in there, but it's pretty sooted up. So at any rate, yeah, so I'm going to have to sweep this out. It's pretty bad. And I'm really dreading this. So I'm going to push this soot down to the bottom of the pipe, and there's an elbow at the bottom, so it'll collect at the bottom. And then inside the boat, I'm going to have to take the elbow apart, which I'm really dreading because I just don't want all the soot getting inside my boat. So I'm going to have to put like a plastic garbage bag and tape it around the elbow, and probably get my vacuum cleaner out and run it while I'm doing this to try to minimize any soot getting away from me and getting into the boat interior. Yeah, this doesn't look like it's going to be much fun, but anyway, we'll give it a try. So I got this piece of PVC tubing. It was originally the handle to this boat bottom cleaning device that the previous owner of this boat built, and I put a different handle on it, a telescopic handle, so I could store it under the cockpit. And but it has this end cap on, and so I'm gonna have this end go down inside. So when I got to put something around it, maybe it's not gonna be thick enough. If I fold it over maybe, or some foam to get down into the pipe, to clean the pipe. But I want this end on here so when I pull it back up, this doesn't fall off inside the pipe. So I'm gonna have to figure out the diameter. I think I'll just go ahead and use the foam. So I can just kind of push this down to make an impression in it. so I can see where to cut it. And I'm going to want it to be a little smaller than this outside diameter. So I'm just going to use this razor knife and cut this out. Already getting soot on my hands. I'm dreading this. I'm telling you, I'm really dreading this. Okay, so and it can be a little smaller and a little loose because I can just jiggle it around in there and make it hit the sides. I don't want it real tight. There we go. Okay, well, it's a little tapered, but I can probably come around the side too. Get this side out a little. That side. Now I should be able to. Pull this apart. Put this around here. Let's see, which way do I want this to go? I think I want it to go this way. Okay. And then I'll just put a zip tie on here. And I think I'm going to need maybe put some duct tape or something around here so it doesn't slide up. That train never shuts up. It's just all the time over here. When I was in San Leandro Marina, I was right next to the Oakland International Airport, and the big jets would fly in, and I'm telling you, they weren't half as obnoxious as that damn train. I got used to the jets, and I'm getting used to the train, but it's annoying. Okay. I'm just going to tighten that down tight, cut it off. I'm just going to cut this off. This is... I think I need to go get a garbage bag because when I pull this thing out, it's going to be sooted up really bad. Yep, I'm going to have to put something around it. Just going to put some tape so this foam don't slide up. Just tape it around the bottom here. Now that'll keep it from sliding. Oh, I'm really dreading this. I'm not looking forward to this at all. Okay. This is enough to make me want to go back to burning wood, but unfortunately the stove's so small, I have to keep feeding wood into the stove to keep it burning about every 20 minutes and poke the coals around. And basically, if I want to fire a wood fire, I just got to sit there and tend to it the whole damn time. It's just too much. So that's why I'm wanting to burn liquid fuel, because I just want it to start the fire and let it burn for several hours and not have to even deal with anything. So, okay, here we go. Let's see how this works. Squeeze it down in there. Well, it's going. I just got to take my time with it. Hopefully, it may not go down. Oh, there it goes. That's what I want. Okay, now we're sweeping. Just going to kind of go easy with it and just work my way all the way to the bottom. I think I'm going to go down and make sure my damper's closed, because I don't want this dust coming out through the air intake on the stove. The stove pipe is also called a flue pipe, and when I was growing up, my mom, the house we were living in, she had the living room extended out, and she had a wood stove installed. And she kind of designed it herself, the brickwork and everything, and it really looked nice, really nice job. I was home alone one night, and I had a fire in the wood stove, and the flue pipe hadn't been cleaned in a long time. And I had a pretty hot fire going. It was wintertime, course, and all of a sudden I heard the sound. It sounded like a jet engine. I was like, what is that sound? It was really loud. Turned out I had a flue fire because the flue pipe hadn't been cleaned. The creosote inside the pipe caught on fire, and a lot of houses burned down like this. Brick chimneys will get fires inside too from the creosote built up inside them, and a lot of houses have burned to the ground because of it. And so the stovepipe got just red hot. I mean, you can damn near almost see through it. And so I, was kind of freaking out, wondering what should I do, Well, I figured out, just shut the stove down, just shut the air intake down and shut the damper down. And I did that, and eventually it went out. It took a while. It kept burning even when I shut it down. And but it finally stopped burning. So it was pretty scary. So you want to keep these cleaned. How I would clean ours, my mom's stove. I'd climb up on the roof, and I used chains that you put on your car tires when you go up into the snow, and on a long rope, and I just jiggle it and clang it around all the way down the stovepipe to clean it, and it worked good. We never hired a chimney sweep to clean it, and I don't recall that we did. We may have, but I don't remember that we did. And they use brushes that are like a bottle brush, but they're made out of wire bristles. And I wished I had one of those, but I don't. Like I said, I didn't want to. I'd probably have to order one. I don't think I can just go anywhere and buy one. So, at any rate, so yeah, you want to keep these cleaned out. So I'm going to go ahead and go up and down a couple times with this, and then pull it out and put a bag around it, and hopefully not get soot everywhere. I'm all the way to the bottom. I'm just going to pull it back up and try not to get the pipe to touch the sides as I do this. And I'm up to the top now. I'm going to go down again just to make sure I got everything. I'm just going to spin it now. Just keep spinning it. Going down. So this is definitely why my stove was smoking out through the door, because this is clogged. Now there's an elbow down inside. The pipe comes off the side of the stove and not the top, so I got an elbow. It's a 90-degree elbow, and all the soot's going to be accumulated down in there, and there's probably already soot down in there that was there from the beginning. And I'm going to have to clean that out and take the stovepipe apart inside the boat. I'm not looking forward to that. So, okay, now if I can just get it out the rest of the way here. Ooh. Oh, and there we go. Soot coming out. Okay, now I'm just going to bag this up so I don't get it all over. That's not too bad. Put that in here. The PVC tubing's pretty good, so I think I'll just do this and put some tape around it. It's not too bad. And I'll get my vacuum cleaner out here and vacuum the soot up. There's just a little bit that came out, but yeah, that looks good. I probably should have twisted it when I came out of the top here, but I think I'm okay. Now I'm going to look at this, my smokestack here, and see how sooted up it is. Because I might have to clean this out. I can't see in there. Yeah, it's sooted up. I'm going to have to put this sweep in here and clean this out. Just the middle pipe. So this is how this works. It's got these two pipes on the outside and the center one. So it actually has 4 times the draw when air passes over, when the wind blows. This is what causes air to draw through the stove. And if it was just one pipe, I'd only have so much suction that would pull air through the stove. But this has got 4. So very light winds, hardly any winds. This thing draws really good when it's clean. It draws really, really good. So I'm just going to go ahead and run this through here. Ooh. Yep, now I'm going to have to use the garbage bag because I got it all over the outside of this other bag. Okay, I think that looks good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this inside the garbage bag and knock it around and knock anything loose. I'm just going to go ahead and put this inside this bag. And like that. And then knock it around a little bit and knock anything loose. Give her a good spanking. Oh yeah. That's good. Now I can go ahead and just put this back on, I think. I don't need to leave it off. So I'll just put this back on. Like this. Yeah, it looks all right. This is going to definitely be an improvement. Okay, so that's on. Make sure I got it on there straight. Okay, now that looks good. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Yeah, it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I'm going to get another grocery bag and put over this, a clean one, over my sweep. And then I can just store this under the cockpit and use it next time. So that's the first time I did this, so a little bit of a learning curve here. But yeah, it worked great. So I didn't have to buy no special sweep tool for this. I think this is going to work fine. And so I'm going to go get a bag and bag this up. And I'm done with the sweep now, and now it's just dealing with the inside of the boat and cleaning out that elbow. Yeah, that's going to be the hard part. I swept the stovepipe outside all the way down to here. And now I need to clean this elbow out here. And this is the part I'm dreading because there's a lot of soot in here and I don't want it to get all over inside my boat. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to put this garbage bag around some of this here to kind of catch it until I figure out what's going on as I take this apart. So this piece here, this part of the elbow here, let me close this damper down. This just pulls straight off. So it just goes that way, straight off. Pull it off, and then this piece here has to twist and then pull down. And so I know it's going to probably make a big mess here. I'm going to try to contain it as much as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tape this bag around the elbow for right now until I get it apart. Maybe try to keep everything in the bag here. So I'm going to go ahead and tape some of this garbage bag around the pipe here to try to contain as much soot as possible. You know what's interesting is I got soot here on my tile, and I get this red stuff, red and black, and I don't know what the red's like, rust. And but I don't know where it's coming out of because I can't see any place where it's coming out of here, but it's getting out somehow, and it leaves a mess right here on the tile. And it's been doing that for a year or two. Ooh, this is not going to come off easy. This is like, it's like it's welded on. I don't know if it's just from the hot and the cold. Might be easier to start a fire in here and then heat it up a little bit, but it is not. I can tell right now this is not going to be easy. Yeah, and I can't really tap on it with anything because I'm going to damage it if I do. I do have a rubber mallet. And I'll have to go hunting for it, but I might be able to tap it loose with a rubber mallet by hitting it right here. Okay, I got my rubber mallet, so I'm going to go ahead and just start pounding on it here. And hopefully I can get it loose without damaging anything. Oh, it's going. It's going now. It's going. Okay, it's almost off. Good. That wasn't too bad, and I didn't damage anything. Okay, now I can wiggle this off. Oh man, yeah, there you go. And it's full of creosote. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's because I swept it out. I pushed all of the creosote down. This whole elbow now is totally clogged. So all I need to do now is get in there with a vacuum cleaner, and I think I can just vacuum this out. Got a little bit of it soot on my hands, but overall not too bad. I think I'm going to be okay here. So looks to me like all I got to do is just vacuum it out, going that way, and then vacuum it going this way, and I should have it clean. I'm going to go ahead and start vacuuming the pipe. Whoa, okay, well there you go. The whole thing just came loose. Good thing I didn't drop it. Okay, well, there we go. So what I can do now is I'm just going to dump it all into the garbage bag here without vacuuming this part out. I think that's probably what I'll have to do here. Okay, there we go. So now that's pretty clean. Looks like I can do a little scraping in there and clean it more. And then now all I got to do is just vacuum this other part out, which I'll do right now. It's got a little creosote still in there. I may go ahead and take the whole elbow apart and just make sure it's all cleaned out. Yeah, I didn't really damage anything pounding on it, so it looks good. So that's good. So anyway, there it is. And you can see some caked in there. I want to get it all out of there because it'll probably just make it clog up quicker if there's debris up against the walls in there. So I just need to lay this pipe out of the way. And so far so good. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm going to get a screwdriver and I need to poke around in there. So it was clogged pretty damn bad. So no wonder it was smoking. Smoke was coming back out the door when I had fire in here the other night. Okay, I'm going to take my screwdriver now and just poke around in here while I vacuum at the same time. Okay, so I think I got this cleaned out good. Take this bag out of here. And I can see how much is in here. So it's got quite a bit in here. Not a whole lot, but looks like about that much came out of the entire pipe. So look at my hands. This stuff doesn't clean off easy either. So I need to get this out of here. And I got soot all around the tile here. So I'm gonna have to vacuum that up. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and take the vacuum cleaner over into my galley area. The stovepipe's on the ground, on the floor in there. And I'm just going to vacuum up and use my screwdriver and kind of probe around. I'm not going to take the elbow off. It looks like it's going to be difficult, and I don't want to change the shape. I had to really shape it to get it to fit in here properly. So it's not just the elbow, but it's kind of, it's all these little parts that twist so you can angle it a little bit. So I had to get this angle. It was really hard to get it perfect. And I don't want to try to pull it apart. I can see them, they're good enough. I think I just got a little bit of cleaning to do in the elbow itself with a screwdriver and the vacuum cleaner, and it should be done. And then I can put it back together. Oh man. I sucked pieces of my my tile up in the vacuum. This tile work's still not done yet. I still got these little, I take these squares and I have to cut them in half, and it's a real challenge. I may make a video on it because I still have to cut more of these to finish this tile work out. It's still not done, and I kind of got a dilemma on what I'm going to do across the front here. And then I also want to get some black glaze and glaze this so these black parts here are glazed on the ends. And I don't know if I can fire the glaze inside this wood stove. That'd be nice, like a kiln, but I don't know. I'm going to experiment with that. But yeah, I was just sucking up these parts here, and I didn't lose anything, but I can always make more. I got plenty extras. But I still have to go and put the little triangles in here and across the top and around. I got the bottom done, but I just got to go across the top, and you know, the back side needs to get done. And I need to get this done because it's a project I've been working on for years. It's still not finished. Yeah, you know, this is kind of a pain in the ass way to heat. It's a nice dry heat, and wood's not bad. The only problem with wood is I have to take ash out of here every day, and that's not fun either. And I still have to clean the stovepipe periodically. You know, it's a nice dry heat, but it's also it's not clean heat. So, and it's not good for the air outside, and it's not good for the air inside the boat, and it makes a mess. And you know, it's quaint, but there's a price you have to pay. And so hopefully in the future I'll come up with a better way to heat the boat. I got a few other ideas, but it's almost like you really need to burn some kind of fuel to do it. Electricity, I mean, I'm gonna have solar panels out, but I just don't know if I'd have enough power with my solar and my battery bank to heat the boat with electricity, which would be nice. But electricity is like the most inefficient way to heat something. Okay, so I'm just going to clean out the elbow, and I'll put the pipe back on. And it's Christmas Eve, and so I can maybe get me a little Christmas Eve fire going in here. I'll probably tonight just go ahead and use my same can with my Crisco, and I got another idea with another can. But I'm also thinking about putting aluminum foil. I got some heavy-duty aluminum foil, and just reaching in here with gloves and put some foil down in here on the bottom and all the way up to here to stop these leaks where it was the fuel would leak out with the weld. And that way I can just put the Crisco right in the bottom of the stove on top of the aluminum foil. And that way it shouldn't leak out through the welds. That got a couple bad weld spots here. And that way I can put more fuel in, and the fire will burn a lot longer, and it'll burn as long as I probably, you know, more than long enough that I'll need it. Because I only need it to, you know, 8 hours would be great just at night. But yeah, so I think for tonight I'm just going to get this this pipe back together, and then just put some Crisco in here and light it on fire, and I'll have a nice little Christmas fire going here.